Hello, and you're very welcome to What's Cooking? This is Channel 1 TV, and my name is Apioko. Now, today on the show, it gets very interesting because, yes, you can see plantain, you can see kontomire, you can see turkey berries or kwinsiswa or abedro, depending on what you want to call it, some eggs, some kobe, but we are cooking it artistically, because we have someone who is very artistic joining us today. And you can see some paintings, some easels, lots of things that are associated with art. And of course, they're associated with our guest as well. Now, I'll tell you who she is when we come back. And if you haven't already guessed, I'll tell you what we'll be cooking when we come back as well. But don't forget that this show is proudly sponsored by Tasty Tom. Ufa kakra, na ye bebre. Yes, and I've got all my red in all the right places for Tasty Tom. And we're also sponsored by Fortune Rice and Mopa, as well as Frital. You, yes you deserve a life of goodness. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, we get cooking. So now allow me to welcome my friend, my big sister, and I suppose my soulmate in art, Dede Paddy, otherwise known as Padiki, and we'll talk about that too. Welcome, sis.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
I love the earrings.
Thank you. So do I love you.
I'll take them from you. Right? We're finally here.
Yes.
You know, today we're not cooking with paint.
No, we're cooking food.
We're cooking food.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? A lot of the time, people have this notion that artists are complicated and we're dramatic. I mean, we are, but you know, you've chosen one of the simplest meals possible. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering why this choice?
I'm a Tafo girl.
Ah, that's what it is.
I grew up in Tafo, New Tafo, Apem. It's all green. And we grow our plantains. My mom grows plantain, kontomire. We had a pear tree. You know, everything was
So
just organic and around the house. So it's one of the first meals I actually learned how to cook.
That's amazing.
And I love it. One of my favorite meals.
Well, it's one of my favorites. Yeah. So as we say in Ghana, I know bo.
Ah.
Okay. So where do we begin? I mean, we have our kobe. You know, it seems as though everybody has their own special way of preparing a dish, regardless of how popular the dish is. Yes. So it can be banku and okro, but everybody has their own method. Yes. You know, so I really want to see what your method is today. Oh, okay. Coming from inside the
tafo. Ours is the ghetto one, you know.
Yeah, inside the tafo.
The green type, you know, we go pa.
Okay, so yes. How are we beginning this?
We start with a plantain.
Okay, so we want to get it ready and put
it on
fire.
Get it ready, peel it, okay. Scrape it, you
Ish.
When you scrape it, then a song. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, last time we found the English word for this right here on What's Cooking.
Oh, really?
When we hosted the rector of Gimpa. So we want it to be firm. We don't want it to become mushy. So we want it to be firm.
Kind of. Yes. And then it gets this kind of gummy, you know. Yeah. So it's quite different from the fufu one. Yes. So that's why you need to scrape off the.
Okay. So let's do it. Yes. So I don't want to touch anything unless you tell me to.
I just want some water in here. Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk a little bit about you. You know, you started from Tafo.
Yes.
You know, and your name would never give that away, because you are Dede, you are Paddy. You know, there's Gandangme in there. So let's start from there. How did you? I'm imagining that's your father who. In fact, I know that's your father who is Paddy, right? So how did you end up growing up in Tafo? You know.
My mom, although she's an Apem, she was she had her PhD in entomology. Okay. Which is the study of insects. Yeah. Kind of.
What a PhD to have.
I know, right?
What year was she born?
I think 43. 1943.
Wait a minute. I want us to understand how amazing this is. A Ghanaian woman born in 1943. So is she still alive?
No, she's a
so if she were
memory.
to be alive today, that means that she would be going on 83 years or so this year, right?
Yeah.
And she had her PhD in the study of insects.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
I think
Amazing.
her degree or master's was in zoology.
Okay.
And then she mastered in entomology.
Okay.
Yeah, so she ended up working at the cocoa
Where
research.
did she study? Because
she studied at I think she went to Cape Coast University.
okay, because we know that even at this time, the University of Ghana, so which was then the University College of Ghana, was only founded in 48 or so. So what University of Ghana was even born when your mom was born. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So can I have a
Let me
plate
give you
of-
a,
yes.
okay, so another, I'll get you
A bowl with water, yes.
Yes, more
Thank
water.
you. Yes, please.
Okay.
All this while, she had been working with the Cocoa Research Institute of Ghana at Tafo, which is under Cocoa Board.
Cocoa board, right.
Yes. So basically, her work was trying to research on insects, caterpillars, all those animals that used to feed on the cocoa plants and pods. Some were useful, some were dangerous, as she used to tell me. Yes. So that's how I ended up in Tafo. So I was born there.
Amazing.
I was born at the Tafo Hospital. And I attended Creek Primary, which is the Cocoa Research Primary School.
Okay.
From there, I moved on to Association International for a year. Then you know those times common entrance became, it was being cut off. So most of us ended up, you know, in the, we used to call that Saito.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, which was the middle schools. So that was when I attended Flagstaff House Middle.
Okay.
And then I did my common entrance. Luckily, I passed.
Say luckily.
I know, right?
As if you didn't have to pass, because I know you.
I know, right? And then I moved on to Krobo Girls Senior High School, which I never regret attending. It was, that time Krobo Girls was very different from now.
From now.
Now they are Dada Bees and, you know, and at times we were niggas and, you know what I'm talking about.
Hard girls. Hard girls.
Yeah, so I read general arts kind of at Krobo Girls, and then took my O-levels. Again, I passed, and then I moved on to Ebri Girls.
Okay. Okay. So
Secondary
you did
school.
A-levels at Abri Girls.
Yes.
Okay.
Because Krobo Girls was only 1 to 5 at that time.
Okay. So there was no Form 6.
No, no.
The sixth form.
Sixth form, yes. Yeah, when I was being appointed, my classmates were like, hey, we were here 1 to 5, and you've brought a sixth former here and given her dining hall prefect position.
Which is a very important position.
I know, right?
I mean, anyone who has jurisdiction over
So
food.
there was this, you know, and then I remember going to the senior house mistress, and because of where I was coming from, you know, Krobo Girls, I told you we were hard niggas.
Yes.
So I was like, these database are worrying me here. So I went to tell her that if they do, I'll beat them all. And then she called a meeting. She said, hey, that's Eredu. She speaks Apem. I was like, oh, okay. At least something is being done about that. So after my BSc in architecture.
But why did you decide to study architecture?
Did I decide? My mom.
Your mom.
My mom.
Yeah.
Because I was.
Is your biological? Because I know you have 2 moms.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
So your biological mom.
My biological
this
mom.
is the one who
Yes.
is the insect lover. Let me call her that.
Yes. And my second mom is the law lover.
Yes, and we'll talk about who she is, because I think everybody knows who she is, but we'll
Yes.
mention her later when she comes to the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at that time, she was like, hey, you've done too well to go and do art or any other course.
So you wanted to do art?
Yes, at first, but that one I had already been thrown off.
Okay.
So my next option was planning, which I thought would be a bit close
So this is
to
like urban planning?
kind of, yes.
Okay.
And she said no, she wants me to read architecture. Okay. So at that time, I even went to London before coming.
It's not easy being the daughter or the child of an academic.
I know, right?
Yeah. And like I said, for someone in her time who had achieved what she had, she definitely would want
rubbing
to see
shoulders with men.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I had to read architecture when I got back.
Did you enjoy it?
In the beginning, it wasn't that good for me because I was still upset. Like, you know, it wasn't what I wanted to do. Even after the first year. Oh, I've just remembered something. My first jury, which I had when I finished designing a beautiful, was it a mosque or something? And then I went to meet the panel.
Okay. So this is something that was happening in the academic space. So
yes.
You do a project and you have to go and
yes, you design yes, and then you have to convince them why you chose that design, why you put that window there, and all that. Yes. So when I got there, I don't know. I just wanted to express myself so well that I said, "Please, can I speak?" They said, "Oh yeah," and I said, "Please, can I speak tree?" Hey. The whole panel got upset. They were like, "What do you mean? How can you speak tree? Do you know the number of people in a queue who want to read architecture? You've got the chance and you've come to stand in front of a whole panel of judges and say what you want." I had to apologize. And I managed my way.
Which year this was?
97.
97.
Yes. You see how the plantain has become slippery?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what we need.
Yes. So as I was doing it, my second year, I think I had a bit of a problem with the administration regarding going on holidays in London and coming late. And those times we used to push. Yeah, and then we push the dates forward. We used to push the dates forward. Oh, you first.
Okay, I'll get it for you.
Yeah. So I think I was caught in a way. And I had to go and defend myself. And then in the end, I was like, after all, I'm not really enjoying the course.
The first place.
So let me just leave.
You've done the first degree.
So I decided to go. Finally, I decided to leave to London to do my master's. And then that was in construction and project management.
That's where you did your master's in, construction
Yes.
and project management.
Yes.
But you still stayed within the...
I know. And I did that because I thought I was stuck with architecture.
Okay.
But how can I run away from the boring side of the architecture? I normally put it on the plantain.
Okay. So when you boil your kontomire with the plantain.
Yes.
Okay. What's
Unless
the reason for that?
we should do it in the
No,
other
it's up to you.
Okay.
Why do you do that?
It adds flavor to the plantain.
Interesting. Okay.
Yes.
No, this is really, a village girl's meal. One pot meal. We don't have plenty pots on the farm.
I know, right?
So when you go, you can't pluck it quickly.
Before you get that one pot, no.
You cook on the coal pot, you're done. For those of you who have ever lived in a village, as for me, it was visiting my, family members, grand-aunts and whatnot. And then also just be adventurous. As for me, then my life is a different story. But yes,
Yes.
one pot meal, you don't have time.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, so I felt I was stuck with architecture. A tomboy who grew up riding bicycles with boys, challenging boys, climbing trees in Tafo. I was like, okay, I might do well with the construction site. So that was why I went in for the construction project management.
Very interesting.
Yes, so that
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed the field trips. Yes.
Where you could go and explore. You just didn't want to be boxed in.
No.
That's not your personality.
No. Yes, so I completed the master's in London, and then I came back to Ghana, worked in a couple of construction companies, like State Housing Company Limited, Pro Design, where I was doing interior design and build.
Were there a lot of women in the field?
No, no. I am always with the guys.
So how did you maneuver that? Because this is still, now we are seeing a few more women in construction and you know, that industry in general.
Yeah.
So how did you maneuver it? Or was it easy for you because you're used
very easy
to being with the guys all the time?
I still love male company than women. And if you see me loving any woman's company, then she's like you.
Ah, she's got to be artistic. That's the other side of you.
I know, right? Yes. So it was not bad with that one. And then, yeah, Pro Design, like I was saying, we were doing the interior design and build, where I was very interested, because that was where I started seeing that I was getting close to my art.
Okay.
Okay. Because I had to make up spaces and all that, to design them. Yeah. So I went on to Ekwaba Estates as well.
Oh, you worked at Ekwaba?
Yes.
Interesting.
And then Waltech.
And other construction side?
Yeah, Waltech. Yes, the construction side. And then Waltech Limited, where we were doing...
Those were the real estate names then, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, Waltech was a place where we were using these ready-made panels to construct. So we could finish a house in like a month, sometimes even 2 weeks. Yeah, it was brought by a Spanish man. Yes, so how did I get out? I think I had a problem with my boss. And then I got out of there. It was around that time my kids came into the picture. Okay. I had my first girl, who is now in University of Ghana, reading biological science.
She's a big girl now.
I know, right? Then I have a boy and a girl in the JH section. So,
oh, interesting conversations. Dede, we'll go for a break.
Okay.
This is What's Cooking right here on Channel 1 TV. My name is Apioko. My guest is Dede Paddy, also known as Paddy Key. She's an artist, but as you've just learned, before that, she was a tomboy, riding bicycles, climbing trees in Tafo. You know, she did architecture and then went on to do construction and actually worked in the field in the early 90s and early 2000s here in Ghana. When we come back, we continue these conversations and then we see how our Abom is coming along. We've got our plantain and our Kontomire in one pot. It's a one-pot Abom here on What's Cooking. We'll be right back. Hello, welcome back. This is still What's Cooking right here on Channel 1 TV, and my name is Apioko. Now, if you're just joining us, my guest today is Dede Paddy. She's an artist, and in the last half of the episode, we've just begun to learn that she's an architect, she's a contractor by training, and we're about to get into why or how she ended up in art in the first place. But while our plantain is boiling, and our kontomire as well, because we're making a hearty Abom from Tafo, as Dede has pointed out for us, we're just going to explore our creative abilities. Now, we know Dede's abilities. I don't know mine. So we're just going to try this out. Dede, are you there?
I'm here.
Alrighty. So, is there a skill to this?
Yes, people have skills that they learned to this, but I'm not one of them.
So how did you get into painting?
I think I was just born with it.
Yeah.
Because right from infancy, I was always just drawing everywhere, all around.
Were you one of those who was drawing on walls?
Yes, the walls, charcoal, any medium I get, I use it to destroy the walls, the floors, and everywhere, you know. So that was when I was being, should I say, tamed or stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my mom was not finding it
Well, of course, you wouldn't find it funny.
interesting. Can I have the yellow? My
The
mom
yellow,
was not
okay. The yellow is here.
finding it interesting, and she didn't know what career could come out of that. So I was being scolded for messing up the walls as usual. And then I did a bit of, okay, let me say, you know, primary school, you do arts, kind of,
Yes.
but that's the general.
The normal things.
Yes, we just draw and yeah, so that was it. And with time, I did a bit of art in Krobo Girls as well.
Okay.
Yeah, where my art teacher was very fond of me because I seemed to love what I was doing. And after that, I think that's when we ended.
But you, so I
Yes.
mean, somehow you left construction and ended up in art. How did it start? Because the kinds of things that you paint, and viewers, I mean, you can take a look at some of Padiki's work or Dede's work. Padiki is like your pseudonym for the painter, right? And it's not child's play. So how did you get to the point where somebody who's never studied art, who didn't set out to do this as a career, I mean, you weren't trained, but not only are you prolific, as I keep saying, where you can paint so many paintings in very little time, but they have meaning and they have structure, and there are things that can compete globally in the arts world. How did you get to that point?
I don't know, but it looks like even each time I keep painting, it gets better.
Okay.
That's what I have realized.
Okay.
Because from when I started touching the brush again, you know, after many years of dropping it, actually, you know, the time the painting came back was when I got divorced. Yes. And that was when I started remembering I could paint. You remember we were talking about Afo?
Yes.
So there is this bit of ancient life within me.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm a very
So basically a
strong
reincarnated
believer
child.
of, I know, right? I'm a strong believer of history, our heritage,
Absolutely.
our culture. And most of all, I love bringing out the African woman
I see
in
that
my
a lot
paintings.
in your work.
Yes.
I see that a whole
I
lot.
bring out the African woman because there are two reasons. One is to showcase her strength. You know, the African woman is a strong person.
Very strong.
Yes. So I bring out their strengths and then I adore their body.
You bring out their strengths and you
Yes.
adore
Yes,
their body.
The curves.
Oh, I love that.
The
I
curves.
love that.
I
love
just
that.
love bringing it out.
I love that. So we're back in the kitchen from our little paint break. Our, as you saw a little earlier, plantain is ready. So we've removed the kontomire and the kwensuswa. What do you call it?
Yeah, the
abedro.
kwensuswa.
So you go with kwensuswa,
Yes.
because some would call it abedro.
Abedro.
English is turkey berries, and I've heard people say small garden eggs. Yeah, somebody actually said that once.
Oh, okay.
You know, but yeah, I mean, I can understand why they are very much like garden eggs, you know. But why did you remove your greens first? Because we still left the plantain a little.
Yeah, if it cooks too much, it will lose its nutrients.
Okay, so we don't want
Yes,
that.
so I don't want, yeah.
And then we're still boiling the plantain with the
A
same
little,
water.
Yeah.
So that gives it a different flavor.
Yes.
Hey, Tafonian. Tafonians in the house.
You know?
Okay, so what do we do next?
Okay, so I'm now coming to do the abom.
Okay.
Yes, where I'm going to use my pepper,
All right.
fresh pepper, onion, and my kontomire
Okay.
and kwensuswa.
Okay.
And then the garnishing will come afterwards.
Okay.
Today it's plenty pepper.
Okay. I mean, don't worry,
Okay.
I don't like a lot of pepper, so if you put
Alright.
plenty pepper, I don't have a problem with that. Is there a reason why you're mixing the green and the red? Or for you, it doesn't really matter?
It doesn't matter.
So
No.
what you get on the farm, that's what you use.
Yeah, yes.
Because some people prefer the flavor
It's
of
just
the
that when
greens
I'm
and
eating
red.
only banku, I like the red
The red, okay.
with onion, no tomatoes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Dede.
And so, if it's tough,
It's okay. No tomatoes. You save the tomatoes for stew and soup.
yes.
Okay, so now we're going to. Okay.
See.
So do we use a lot of onions?
Yeah, Kontomire loves onions.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes it taste very
Okay.
nice.
Alrighty.
So let me take one. We'll cut some too.
Okay.
garnish
So you see, even in
afterwards.
cooking, you're behaving like an artist. It's like you're just picking the things, combining them. It's
Yes.
interesting.
And there's one thing my grandma taught me.
Okay.
I don't know how true it is, but it always ends up being true when you practice it. When you are coming to grind pepper or anything, and you add the salt from the beginning, it smoothens up quickly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it is smooth and very quickly.
I know, right? So it looks like the salt,
Theory.
the theory seems to be, yeah. So now I'm gonna add, I've done the pepper, the onion, a bit of salt, and then I'm putting the kontomire in. And I'm sure you will wonder why I haven't put tomatoes
Yes.
in yet. No, we don't do it with tomatoes.
Okay.
Because out of my experience, I realized that anytime I used tomatoes for Abom, it becomes watery.
Watery.
Yes. But when you just use the onion and the pepper,
On
you
point.
get the smooth
like a
effect.
paste.
Yes, paste,
Yeah.
yes. That's it.
paste.
You know the game.
Yeah. I like it.
You know the game.
So we're not using any tomatoes at all.
No, no, just for garnishing.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful. Because you know sometimes some people will use just one tomato, maybe they'll grill it a little,
Yes, 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 they do.
but that's not your style.
No, no, no. No.
Amazing.
Even if I'll grill it, I'll use it for garnishing
Okay.
so that it doesn't affect my pasty.
Yeah. It's very important for you.
Very, very important. And why it's important is when it's like that, you put the palm oil on. It stays in the, you know? Yes.
It doesn't get
It just
lost.
flows around it and
You like painting with kontomire and palm oil.
I almost said, look at how I'm describing the
like
food.
paint. I love it. But is this the way you were taught? Or over time,
Over
you
time.
developed your own
Yeah, over time.
recipe?
My mom used to use tomatoes.
Okay.
Yes. But I lived with Ashantis. Yes, along the way. And that was when I discovered that their Abom is always very thick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I asked my host, yeah, who was like family friend.
Okay.
Yes, and then she taught me how to do it without the.
The tomato.
You know, I used to be a lefty when I was a child.
And you were forced to change.
I was forced to change. So sometimes unaware.
You do things with
I-
your left. It's interesting.
I know.
I'm sure there are many Ghanaians who have had that experience.
I'm sure, yes. Yes, so my last girl, she's a lefty. I've left her.
Yeah.
And she's using it beautifully, you know. Yeah.
All right, so we can start putting
Yeah,
the
you
oil
can
on fire.
pour the oil for me
Okay.
now. Lovely Zomi. That's okay. No,
That's
no, no.
enough.
Not too much. Yeah.
Get some tissue.
And I have my Kobe here. I don't really remove much from the Kobe.
Okay.
Because I see everywhere to be eatable. So I just remove the pectoral fins.
Okay.
And I leave the dorsal ones at the back and the pelvic one for enjoyment.
This one, dear.
I know.
You've taken us to a Greek class.
You know?
Or a zoology class. Which one?
Both.
Okay, so I'm going to light the fire. Pectoral fins, dorsal fins.
Yeah, the dorsal ones.
Pelvic fins.
I leave them because they get crispy and very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, when you fry it. It's all part of it.
The onions are swimming very nicely in the zone, the red.
We are assuming we are cooking it on a coal pot. You know. Yeah, so the Kobe goes in now.
Okay.
And then begins frying.
Very beautiful. Okay. All right. But we're not covering it, nothing. We're not going to cover it, no.
No, you don't need to cover it.
Okay.
No.
Smells delicious.
Yummy, yummy.
Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay. So I've started eating the egg, but in my defense, this one was already, like, it wasn't presentable for garnishing, so I'm eating it. So is this the payanku?
Yes.
That's the one we want. The
Yes.
buttery one.
Yes.
The buttery avocado.
Yes. It's not feeling too good because of the ripeness.
Yeah, very ripe.
But it's okay.
And then our Kobe.
Our Kobe is almost ready in the
about
palm
ready.
oil. Okay. So our pear ready for cutting. It's best served in the Iowa.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But I want to seal some of the pear too. Okay.
So here is where we pour our zomi.
Ooh,
So you
look
see
at
it's
that.
frying. You know,
Look
it's already
at that.
frying on its own. So you just make some holes in so that the oil could seep through.
It's gorgeousness. Let me get some tissue.
Yeah.
Absolute gorgeousness.
It's straight from the woods.
Yeah, from the woods.
No beating about the bush.
No, at all. Okay. Look at this. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to go for a break because I'm in a hurry to eat this deliciousness. Let's, just take a breather. Soak it all in. All the aromas, all the colors, all the artistically put together pieces of this meal. And when we come back, we will eat it. You are very welcome back. It's So What's Cooking right here on Channel 1 TV. My name is Apioko. Do not forget that this show is proudly sponsored by Tasty Tom. Mufa kakra na ye bebre. Frytol. You, yes you deserve a life of goodness. And Fortune Rice and Mopa. Very, very happy to have all of you on board. And thank you for holding us down. Now, my guest today, in case you're just joining us, is Dede Paddy. She's an artist, an architect, and a contractor by training, but she's found her calling, and a poet as well. Because and you have a collection of 100 poems that are based on 100 paintings that you painted.
Yes.
It's amazing, amazing, amazing. But let's serve the food and then we can get into some more conversation. Now, the tradition on the show is that the chef for the day is the one who dishes the food. So, over to you.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that deep. We are doing it artistically.
Artistic.
Yeah, I'll help you with the plantain.
Okay.
Okay. How many do you want?
Just 2.
You see, I told you, this woman, she doesn't eat. She eats. Okay, I'll do 3 for now. Thank you. When you live in a tropical country, the flies will always show up. Always. Okay.
So I had a Kobe.
Yes, please. As well.
All right.
And some of the palm oils. Thank you. This looks and smells so good. Oh yes, I almost forgot we have drinks. Okay. Masana for you. All right, we're all set. Okay, so Dede, you mentioned that you left construction and you started painting because painting was sort of an escape for you, it was therapeutic for you when you were going through a trying time with your divorce. But I mean, you have such great technique. I mean, look at all these things. You created a mini gallery here, and this is not even a fraction. It's not even a fraction of your paintings, of your collections, you know. How did you begin to discover that this is something that you want to do professionally?
After painting for a while, the painting started piling in the house. And I was giving them out as gifts. So people started calling me to tell me that when we put it on our walls and people come and see, they're like, this is nice. So they don't think it should be kept indoors. I need to put it out. I was a bit skeptical about it. After a while, I was like, let me give it a try. So that was when I decided to open Paddy Art Gallery. Yeah, it's about 2 years old now. And it's been amazing. At least it's not too bad, but yeah.
Let's talk about your Guinness World Record attempts. So you set out to do the longest paint-a-thon in history. You're looking at how many hours?
168.
Did you achieve it? I mean,
Yeah,
painted.
I did for 7 days.
What was that like?
It was crazy. Let me use the right word.
Did you have to prepare for it?
I couldn't prepare for it because of arrangements, trying to get the place set up. It took so much time, right to the last minute. So preparing myself was not in the picture. I even went into the cubicle so tired.
Wow.
So I was surprised I was able to do 10 hours straight without getting up. Yeah, but in the end I achieved the hours and it wasn't a smooth journey anyway.
No, it couldn't have been. It couldn't have been. But I mean, I'm sure in some way or another, you had prepared yourself through your work in general, because, like I keep saying, you can paint so many paintings at once. And for those who may have gone to Rock City Hotel or La Palme, her paintings are on the walls there and many other places. And some of these projects you completed, how many paintings in how many days and all that?
For instance, with the Rock City, I first completed 600 paintings in like 3 weeks. And the other 800 in about 4 to 5 weeks.
How do you do it?
I don't know. Once I just touch the brush, I don't feel like just getting up. I keep going and going and going. Sometimes the kids have to come and tell me to get up to sleep.
What's
you know?
cooking?
Oh.
I can see a sumptuous meal with colors, green, yellow, white. Wow. This looks marvelous and delicious, even before I taste it. Hello, Paddy.
Hello.
This is my neighbor.
Yeah.
Who only shows up when the food is ready. But today,
Oh.
dear,
Don't
if
worry.
you want
Let
to
me
eat,
position this
if
one
you
well
want
for you.
to eat, you have to paint
Oh,
to justify your inclusion.
painting.
Because
Yes.
we painted before eating.
Yes.
Please. Which one do you like? Kakamu to be? Yes, I can give you a nice kakamu to be.
You want something that we can put on our walls.
Look, it will interest you to know that people from Japan will come for kakamu to be.
I know, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so it's just a passion. And it keeps flowing all the time. And sometimes, even when I'm in the office and I just get a feeling, you see, I'll be itching to go home.
To go and
Until I
paint.
touch the brush, I'm not fine.
That's amazing. How has your family, fast forward, received your gift and what you do?
They're very happy about it. Now, I can see it excites them. Sometimes I ask the kids, so how do you feel when probably you go for an exhibition or you go somewhere and you see a painting there and it's mine?
It's yours.
Yeah, like we get excited. Yeah, that's to tell you, oh, it's normal. So I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting. Now, I mentioned earlier that you have another mother. So we spoke about your mother, who I'm calling the insect lover. May she rest in peace.
Amen.
Yeah. And we thank her for passing down this Abom tradition
I
that
know.
we're enjoying today. We have another mother. So tell us about her.
She's in the person of Justice Sophia Kufu, her ladyship,
Her ladyship.
who is part of my upbringing. I lived with her for a number of years. And I learned a lot from her. Being a lady, being strict, being principled,
Where did you hide my chair?
and
my
being on time. Yes.
Interesting. Her ladyship,
Oh.
Justice Sophia Kufu.
Yes.
I mean, I had the pleasure of interacting with her on several occasions because, of course, your younger sister was my mate in school.
Yes,
And
Chocho.
yes, and happened to be one of my closest friends. And, her ladyship, that strictness, it passed down to all of us. All of us at some point, we experienced it, but we appreciate it. We appreciate it.
How do you want me to do it?
No, as for you, dear, I'm even lucky that I had a plate here for you.
And you know, she's one of the people who really encouraged my painting. She started collecting them for herself. Then she started paying for them.
Wow.
Then when people see it in her house or office and admire it, she pays and I make some for them.
Wow.
So talking about the commercial side, I think she was one of the pushing factors.
Yeah.
Yes. That got me into commercializing the painting.
So amazing. So now let's talk about art business. You know, we have this notion that the artist has to struggle. And I mean, it's not out from nowhere. We've had our issues in the creative arts space over the years. You know,
Beautiful.
but you seem to have made a good business out of it. How? How do you do it? I mean, apart from the fact that there's not everybody who paints several paintings and even gets anybody to buy them. How have you done it? How have you structured the business?
Should I say structured it?
There's always a structure.
There's always a structure.
Yeah. One is the gallery.
Okay. Okay.
Two
we do
is
need
the
more
form of
galleries.
advertisements.
Okay.
I do a lot of giving out cards.
Okay.
Yeah. And I sponsor beauty pageants, awards. I basically do anything to bring me into the limelight, to bring the paintings into a limelight. Last summer or this summer, I had about 2 programs in the UK where at Ramsgate and Margate. I was about to go and do one at Scotland, but we postponed it to next year. So I think it's a passion that leads me, if I may say. Yeah. Because if you watch closely, it's not really about the money.
No.
Because if it was
at
about
all.
the money, I would have stopped painting
Because
by
you're
now.
always giving paintings away.
I know. I think it's part of my hobby, giving them away.
So when am I getting mine?
Very, very soon.
But when did you come to meet her?
Oh, I've been seeing here.
Where?
Everywhere.
So my very last question. Where do you want your art to take you now? I mean, you've done so much already. You've become one of the most powerful names in visual arts in West Africa and on the continent really now. But where do you want your art to take you next?
I'm looking at auction houses
Okay.
in Europe
Okay.
and America. I want to see my painting being auctioned over $1 million.
I like that.
Together with
Yes.
the house.
I like that.
So that is my goal, my dream, and I know it's going to come true.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that. Dede, thank you. Thank you for this,
Thank you
this
too.
delicious meal. I saw how nostalgic you became when you started talking about your mother and
Yes.
remembering
Yes.
that this
It brought so
tradition
much
came from
memory.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for being open about so many things in so many ways in this conversation. And just thank you for being you. Thank you for chasing your dreams. Thank you for continuing to do this thing. And the rewards, they will come bigger and better.
Amen.
They're already coming, but I know they'll come bigger and better.
Amen.
You're already big.
They're already big. So ladies and gentlemen, especially if you're an artist, you want to check out the Padiki Arts Gallery. It's on the La Beach Road.
Yes.
Yes, so go check it out.
Website,
Lord knows we need more galleries. Our artists will tell you that we need more, and for someone
And
one
space.
and
I need space. The paintings are flooding.
flooding. So people should also come for the paintings, you know. And also, she has a book. Please look for it. It's 100 poems based on 100 of her paintings, reflections. And then, of course, if you just want to reach out to her because she's an awesome human being, you should do that as well. Maybe you should teach her how to make Abom. This has been What's Cooking. We are sponsored by Tasty Tom, Ufa Kakra, Naye Bebre, Fortune Rice and Mopa, and of course, Frital. You deserve a life of goodness. Taster General.
Nah, yeah, baby. No, this is good meal, man. It's on the
Thank
map.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, when you go to the auction houses, you add this one to it.
Yeah.
We'll see you again.
All right then. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. But before we go, what we did,
Yes, our paintings.
our paintings, and of course, Taster General doesn't have one. See you next time.